everybody, it's Amy, and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Whether this is the first time you've seen me or you are a subscriber, I really do appreciate your time. So I'm going to go through a tote with you today, show you what's in that tote. You know, this has been kicking around, getting dumped from one tote to another. I think I know what's in it, but you always get a little surprised when you haven't dug into something for a little while, so let's take a look. Okay, so I've been talking about my mom lately, and how can I crochet without talking about my mom? But this is an item that was in her things, and I decided to sort of make one too. So this is cotton yarn, and it's this really pretty maroons and pinks and beige. And what it is there's a V-stitch and then a double crochet, and then a V-stitch and then a double crochet. So it's hard to see that up against nothing. Let me see if I can give you some V-stitch, double crochet, V-stitch, double crochet, V-stitch. And then it's got this great border. Here again, this is a single crochet with a back loop only. And I really, you know, I've done it for like ripple blankets and things like that, but I'm really finding that my mom did it quite a bit, and it gives such a little, it's like such a little free bonus texture. It's like she didn't even really do anything difficult, and voila, she's got this great little edge that goes around on the border. So I really liked that, and so I decided to attempt something similar, and so I bought some of this cotton yarn, peaches and cream or whatever it was, and I made these for my sisters and I. I've got two sisters, and so what I did was like a 4 double crochets and then 2 little spaces here, I mean 2 chains here, and then 4 double crochets, and I skipped 2 down here. So I made a couple of these for each of us. I didn't tie in my own strings, and mom's had a border. I don't know if I bordered the ones for my sisters or not. I didn't border mine because they were just mine. But that was kind of one of the early things that I did after getting her stuff, to try to recreate with something that she did. So I liked that idea. That was cute, but they just sit in the tote. I don't use them. And who wants to make stuff that just sits in totes, right? We want to make usable stuff. We want to be able to enjoy our craft. So, I mean, after the fact. So I'll probably take this out at Christmas time and leave it out for, you know, like a cookie doily, you know, underneath a cookie plate or something like that. Who knows? We'll see. But so here's the first thing in my what's in that tote. It's kind of like, what do I get into next? Well, there's a whole bunch of scrap. You know, like I never knew how to keep my scraps, so I've got a bunch of balls of scraps. These are really pretty. I was trying to remember what those were from. Some more scraps. You know, this one is the Icelandic that was my dad's blanket. Didn't know I had any of that left, so this is all a nice surprise. And then some more whatever that purple is. It's gorgeous, and it's super thick. I mean, it's not a bulky, but it's just that great yarn that I love so much. I'm still trying to decide. I don't think it's called roving because it doesn't get fat and thin. And it's not, it doesn't look like, well, maybe if I start to play with it a little bit, you can see the plies a little bit better. Anyway, it's just scraps. Who cares? Excuse me. Bunch of maroons. So that'll be nice to be able to put all that stuff together and be able to actually start using it. Got some more scraps, just a whole bunch. I'm gonna have a good time with this. Some neon orange here. I did a, one of my nieces asked me for some hunter. It was like, for her baby, it was like a little camo bottom and a camo hat with a little orange hunter shaped deer head on it. It was really cute. Sorry about that. I wasn't done with that tickle in my throat. Okay. So, again, more scraps. I don't know what I did with yarn. Look, this one's almost a whole skein. Amy Jo, you are cuckoo. I got a gorgeous red color skein here. That's kind of bright. It's not that bright. I mean, it's bright, but it's not that bright. Here's the maroon next to it. See, it's still getting kind of blown out a little bit. Did I come in any better? Nope. These are two very different colors, and they kind of look together. All right, so more scraps, more scraps, more scraps, more scraps. Here's some more. Why did I not think that I already had a bag started? Because I'm a goofball. Look, there's a hook. I got a plastic hook in here. So I was doing some, and I'll do a whole video on this because there's a tote that's got more of this stuff in it. But this is a plastic hook. And I was going to take quite a few plane trips back and forth to California for some stuff that I had to do. And I didn't want to get kicked off a plane for my metal, you know, my aluminum crochet hooks. So I went and bought some plastic ones so that I could get through, say, security lines and no issues. And I didn't have any problems with them. I mean, they're just as good as any others. So that's nice. I'll keep that up though. I'll put that with my hooks. All right, big old pile of scraps so far, and I haven't even shown you stuff yet. This looks like some fiberfill, like a little teeny tiny bag of fiberfill. And here's a yarn band. I don't know why the yarn band is in there. For Bernat's Softy Baby. There's a pattern on the back. I always want to call it a recipe. There's a pattern on the back. Is it, what is it of? A blanket that's in stripes. They do, it's very, very hard to see, but they're like squares that they did into stripes. I don't know. I want to be able to show you guys close-up stuff. What is my problem? Anyway. And there are instructions in here, so clearly I was working on something. Single chain, then 2 in the next, 1 single chain, then 2 in the next, 2 in the third, 1 single chain, 2 in the next, 2 together. I'm not sure what it is. But it's stuffing for a bunny face shape. This is old. I never made a bunny. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if I made a different kind of creature or a different kind of character or whatever, but extra bag for that to the side. I reuse those. Okay. Oh, good Lord, Amy Jo. Another pile, another bag of scraps. I wish you could see this pile. It's so much. Okay, let's get to some good stuff. I was doing a blanket that I will show you in a different video where I needed some, I was making hexagons. I was making these great big hexagons. And I was using the Just yarn that's in all those pastel colors. And this was a pink that was from my mom's stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I used all of that up and got it, you know, incorporated into a project. But then when I laid out all my pieces, I had some extras and I didn't want to continue to make it bigger. So I've got these saved for another project that I'll do. And that includes some halves, half of the hexagon for the side of the blanket. I've got one in orange too, that's the Just yarn. So, and then I left a note on it so that I knew I used a green, my green 4.5 millimeter hook. So that's why I keep a little tag on there so I know what I was using with that. So that is something that I'll go back to and complete because, like I said, I've already got one blanket made with the hexagon, these big pastel hexagons, and I really liked it. So I'll go back and make another one with that. If you saw my finished products video from yesterday, I showed you 2 little blue flowers that maybe that will go on a hat that I made. And so here are some more things that I had just been playing with. Here's a little heart. It was very cute. Another smaller one. Whether you want to, layer those on something and give it a 3D effect or not. Here's the little 4-piece flower. I really like the flower that I showed you guys yesterday. I think it might still be sitting right here. Yes. With these little, the next row flirps up a little bit, and so you've got this 3D effect. I really, really like that. You can see a little, my finger goes right through on that little spacing. So I really like these. But I was playing with different shapes and stuff. This is a nice one. I'd like to go back and revisit this. It's this nice little granny square, and then it's got like a chain 3 single crochet, chain 3 single crochet border. That's very cute. Very 3D. I like that. I don't know why I made it. I don't know why it's sitting there, but there you go. All right. Some other things I was playing with, trying to do like some diamond effects for different reasons or different needs, you know. This one looks like, what is this? This is a double V-stitch like I just did my tutorial. Okay, so I just did a tutorial using unforgettable yarn for a double V-stitch scarf that I also made into a cowl. And this happens to be the same thing. So you've got 2 double crochets. This one looks like I only chained 1 in the V, but it's still 2 double crochets into the sides. And then I always like a clean edge on that so that if you do decide to put a border, you're not going to mess up with the design. And if you don't want to do a border, you don't need to. So I don't know why I had that in there. This tiny little piece. I don't know why. I was just playing with a stitch or playing with the yarn or something. I don't know. There you go. Here's another one. Same stitch. It's 2 double crochets with a chain 1 in between. Same thing. Okay, so this is, I wanted to do a spider web for Halloween, and like it turned out so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I even went and bought like a plastic spider I was going to put into it, but I just lost my freaking mind going round and round with all these spaces and all these. Look how many tie-offs I have. No bueno. I did not like that at all. So here it sits. I don't know why I kept it. I keep thinking I'm going to do something with it. What are those headpieces that they used to wear that had all the hangies? I don't know. It's in my mind. I can't see it. Is it like a Cleopatra? Is that who was that woman back, that actress back in Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra maybe? I don't know what my vision is. I don't know what I'll ever make with it, so that's why it's just sitting in this tote. Okay, so this is kind of funny. I had a coworker who always, you know how some people get really annoyed by people who write their name and then dot their I with a heart or something like that. This was a grown woman, grandmother woman, who still put a smiley face when she wrote her name. Love her to death, cracked me up. And so I wanted to make her a happy face, you know, the happy face guy, the little happy face guy. So I looked some stuff up and found this pattern. So there's these 2 halves, and you would stuff it and put it together and then sew on the happy face. And for whatever reason, I got to this point and I just wasn't feeling it. So I've got these 2 things. I don't know what they are for otherwise. I don't know what I will do with them otherwise. But from that, so I did end up making a different one that was just, you know, like started in the round, and then I got bigger, and then I got smaller. So I just made a round puffball and put a face on it and left it at her desk, and she came in that day or whatever, and that was lots of fun. But in making that, I was, I can't wait to show these to you because they crack me up so much. I finished one of these and then threw it at my husband. Threw it across the room at my husband. So every once in a while, we'll just start tossing these back and forth at each other. So there's my little man, and then here's my little woman. And I just will randomly pick it up and throw it across the room at him. That is so funny. I forgot about these. Look at her little lips. Her little eye stitch right there is not right, but oh my god, that was so funny. I forgot about these. See how important it is to go back into your you know, your junk drawer or whatever for your crochet stuff. This is hysterical. So these are my little people. Okay, what else we got? That, I think. Okay, so I remember, gosh, I wish I knew how old she was. My friend Mandy had a little girl, and so I made this for her. I made one for her, and I loved it so much that I continued to make them, but I got stopped, as I normally do, you know, 95% of the way through, and then I hit a snag. And so, okay, so again, this is some of that, that 3 yarn that I ended up with so much of from my mom's stuff. So look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made. I made granny squares and then made it into a square, like a little toy block. When I stuffed the one for Mandy's, it wasn't I didn't like that. So that's why I stopped at this point. I wanted to make some more, but figure out the stuffing a little bit better. I didn't like the holes to lose any stuffing, and I hadn't really used stuffing before, so I didn't, you know all the ins and outs of it. But I love this. I forgot about it. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to finish these for sure. So it looks like I got one more edge to sew here. Nope, that's not where he sews. So he's going to connect here. So I have to go across the edge top here, and then this two sides. Along here and along here. So I'll have like 3 edges to sew up and just to stuff it, but otherwise it's done. Oh my god, that was awesome. Little square block. Just granny squares. It's just a solid granny square. You can find tons and tons of tutorials for these on YouTube. Awesome! Okay, so I've got a little bit of that left. That can go with the rest of my 3 stuff. It's like I have a whole new inventory of yarn scraps here. This is crazy. So here is another one that I made in yellow corner to corners. Oh my gosh, I love these. I cannot believe I forgot about them. These great little squares. Oh, and corner to corner. I love a corner to corner. I don't care what you say. I love a corner to corner. So this was awesome. This is again that 3 tiny little yellow yarn. So I've got some more of that, and then some more white that went with this multicolor. That was awesome. I am finding this entire video is a score. I'm sorry if you're not enjoying it, but this is, my excitement level has just increased. What do I have here? When Amy finds something, Amy goes on a kick and just continues and continues and continues. Here's a pink corner to corner with a white edging. Guys, these are getting finished. I am so excited. These are getting finished. So then I've got some more little small ones, a little tiny, another little corner to corner in the blue and a white, some other blues. So again, like I was trying to incorporate all of Mom's yarn into a project, and then I just kept having more and more and more. I got another hook, another 2 hooks in here. Isn't that funny? When you can't find a hook, go look in your project bags, you might find some more. These are 3.75 and 3.75. And then some more white. I got some more white in here as well. Wow, that's awesome. And a pair of scissors. Score! Never enough scissors. I'm always looking for scissors. I have some notes in here. And initially when my mom taught me a wave stitch, I know that I had some instruction here. Aww. This is my mom's handwriting. This was what she was telling. This was the and then I needed to explain in my own words a little bit more. I love to see her handwriting on stuff. That's so cool. So I just have some. She gave me some photocopies of some of her books before I received them all. Pink pastel stripes. Bunch of yarn bands with different patterns on the inside. There's a little swatch of something. I don't know if I made this at her house and then took it home with me to be a sample, or if she made it for me for it to be a sample. But, and then here was my dad's C to C. I was trying to balance my rows so that I had the same number of stripes of blue versus the same number of stripes of gray or whatever. So I got very mathematical, and I have to draw it all out and envision it, like, you know, see it on paper so that I know what I'm doing. Not very helpful notes, like just random patterns that I scribbled down. That's kind of funny. But this is old. I haven't been in this paperwork in a long time, so that's kind of crazy. Old. Okay, not a whole lot left. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, again, another hook. Just found another hook. This is a 6.0. Nice J hook. So I wanted to make grannies, but not squares. So I was making these triangles. that I thought I would make into a blanket at some point. So I've got the red, white, and blue in this direction. And then I've got some blue, white, and red in this direction. And never put them together to make anything out of it. I don't know if I was going to do a blanket that was triangles. And now that I don't have these colors anymore, I would hate to put it together into something and not have the right colors for it. So I don't know if this is something that's going to get finished or not. And gosh, I didn't tie in a single end of these. That's something I learned over time, to sew in your ends as you go. Yay, here's a clean one. But that's really cute. I think I might have to revisit that. I am not a color changer though. I hate color changing. That's why I go with variegated yarn so much. So I don't know. These will take some more thought if I'm going to do something more with them. I'm running out of room. There's a pile in front of me. Okay. Whoops. I just skipped this one, I guess. I told you, once Amy starts, Amy loves to continue. Here's another one. I made it a little bit bigger with another border, another row of white before the border, another block. And a bunch of squares out of, this is Baby Jamie. I don't know if you guys knew this or remembered this. This is, I still have some of these in my stash to use up. And this one's called Candy Print. These are old. Famous for quality since 1878. 6 skeins for this blanket. Very cute. America's favorite yarn, Lion Brand. I didn't realize it was Lion Brand. That's cool. So yeah, I've got a ton of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So there's this one. Let me see if I can't put it. There's this one that is in these normal, I don't want to say normal, they're kind of pastel-y, pink, mint, I can't see, pink, mint, light orange, very cute. And then this one, I don't know if you can see the difference. It's all purple and green and the pink and blue. It's like so different. See how different? It's a different skein altogether. It's the different colorway, I mean. And it's so pretty. So I've got a bunch of these little guys. This is probably only, let's see how big these are. These are about 4-inch squares. And I've got a bunch of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I might, because I've got so much more of this yarn, I might go back and make some more of these and finish it. This is how janky I am. This is like the back of an envelope or something, and I just scribbled down my instructions so that I can continue without having to look at the video again and again and again or whatever. So that's pretty funny. And I kept these all separate. It's a G hook. I wrote a little note. I kept the yarn weight separate because it's a 3 separate from the other. Oh my gosh. What a walk down memory lane. My goodness. Oh, and Amy's got to keep every tiny little scrap. This is stupid. Look how tiny. Okay, this is the last thing in this tote. So this went a little bit longer than I thought. So I'm glad this is the last thing so that I'm not boring you guys any longer. These are, I'm not sure. Blue F hook is from Mom's Christmas Square. Blue F hook. Oh, so that's telling me that this is an F hook that I left with a note for these. I don't remember making these. Obviously, this was like 10 years or more ago. And I don't know that I have these colors anymore. But it's pink and cream and the super dark green. And I don't know if she made these and I just kept them, or if I made these with her yarn. But I've got each different little stage. You know, maybe I'll square these off and just make a wackadoo blanket out of all this junk. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know how do we put these all together ever, but pretty color combination. I wouldn't have chosen those necessarily. So thank you so much for sitting with me today. When I go through these what's in that tote, I never know what I'm going to find, and so sometimes you guys will see honest to goodness excitement and reaction from me as you did in this one. I feel like it might be a little bit silly, but so what? So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys every single time that you're here with me. Please have a safe and happy day today. I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.